trois. Ready?
Is that how you want the intro
Recording?
started? Start it over.
Recording. All right.
Hey everybody, welcome to Word of Mouth.
There's
It's
no
a-
music. Oh. sorry.
He couldn't wait
All
out
right.
the 4-count. The 4-count that Zion just made fun of by this
Did not make fun of
music artist named Marlin Funaki.
not make fun of it.
Shout out to this guy. This song's called When Sunday Comes Around. Sunday, tomorrow.
Because today's Saturday.
Today's Saturday. Anyways, today's Saturday. It's Word of Mouth, and we're here live with our friends, Zion Goins, and we're co-hosting this episode with my other friend, Jack Sully Fam.
Yeah.
Great
John.
to be here.
John is our producer.
And John is the producer. John, you wanna
Patty.
jump in the shot and say what's up?
We got two Johns on board. John Patrick and John McClendon.
But I don't go by that.
You wanna know something wild?
Well, that's your government name.
It's government name. Sully and I, Jack and I, met each other because we were in a fraternity together.
That is
And-
so cool.
And
I love
so
that
sick.
all three of these producers, we're all in a fraternity together. We're all brothers.
Oh,
That's
you guys
right.
are so cool.
Yeah.
So we went to
What's your,
college.
what's your,
we went to
what's your
college.
gang sign?
Zion didn't come to college with us, but he did come to all of our college functions.
I came to functions. I was at the coffee shop.
Yeah. So, anyways, the reason I was saying that was Jack and I met because we were in the same pledge class. We were freshmen in this fraternity, and legitimately, you have to memorize everybody's first, middle, and last name and hometown and all this crap about all your pledge brothers. But we had so many Jacks in our pledge class, and none of them went by Jack. So many Johns in our pledge class, and none of them went by John.
3 Johns, all Jacks.
What'd they go by?
All Jack.
Jonathan.
All Jack.
Oh, they all went by Jack.
Jack Green, Jack Linton,
Mm-hmm.
and then me.
Shout out to Jack Green and Jack Linton. I know
Mhm.
you're listening.
Yeah, we know you're listening, guys. There's
Jack
absolutely no.
Green. I know you're listening.
We are in Juck's
Hey, what's up with
hometown.
Jack Red?
We can talk about that. Hey, some of y'all who are viewers probably are like, what the heck? This isn't Steven's living room. It's because we're not. This
We're
is
in
not
God's
my living room. We're in God's living room, the outdoors.
Shout out to my aunt and uncle. They have a really nice house in Chattanooga, and they're
Shout
letting
out.
us film here.
Okay, I know your uncle's name.
Uncle and Kenny.
What's
Uncle
your
Kenny and Aunt Jen.
Aunt Jen?
Jen.
Aunt Jen, Uncle
Yeah.
Kenny.
Jen and Ken.
Wow, that's
Shout
kind of
out.
cool. You think they did that for their wedding hashtag? Jen
Jenny
and Ken?
Kenny.
I don't know.
What's their last name?
Morgan.
Let's Morgan this Jen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is that what y'all
we
did?
Is that right off the dome?
we
Let's
could
go into this
definitely-
Lillaby.
Oh,
Let's get this goings.
let's get this
Gosh, we
going.
can do this for a while. Ooh, Jack, let's just.
I just
this is fun. This
sullied
is
my
real.
pants.
Okay, that one felt like more of a
Sorry,
dig than anything.
sorry.
I just sullied my pants.
I'm the producer.
My
you're
bad.
the guest.
My bad, dude. It just came to me.
I'm gonna ride this power trip all the way.
Oh,
home.
Okay.
man.
I'm gonna let this electric feeling of being on a podcast just guide everything I say today.
That's the goal. The goal.
That's right, man. Hey, well, to start us, man, I would love to.
Hey, no peacocking.
Um,
I had to go in for you. It's your
That was
last name.
You got me. That was my wedding
Let's
hashtag. Hey,
peacock.
no peacocking.
Yeah.
No peeking.
Wedding
Is that what you're
hashtags
getting
are
at?
No,
terrible.
peacocking. That's like when you show out, which is what I'm doing. And then let's Alan have a good time.
We're all in
We're
this
all in this
together.
Oh, that was
Yeah, I
way
was gonna
better.
say
Yeah,
that.
there we
That was
go.
way better. Crap.
All right. So, Zion, how do we know you, man? Who are you? Let's start there.
Steven, that's a great question. We know each other through this random coffee shop in Birmingham. Not gonna say it.
It will remain unnamed.
And
Not sponsored. If
Not-
you'd like to sponsor this
definitely not
podcast, you'll have to
sponsored.
reach out to our management.
which is Jack. And so I worked at this coffee shop, and you guys would just come in. It was close to Sanford, which is where you all went. And I met you through there. I was just in the shop, and you guys seemed like cool fellas. I met Jack through, was it Will, or did we just meet each other at the shop?
It was also the unnamed coffee
Okay,
shop.
that's what I thought. You were in the shop, we talked, and I was like, I do music. He was like, I do music. And then we jammed, which
Yeah.
no real
You
musician
did
does.
music.
Okay, I'll say the coffee shop name. It was
No.
It was Onyx Coffee. It was like super low key.
Super low key.
Right at
Not
the,
a lot of
like,
people know about it.
Beginning
Yeah.
stages.
We would all drive up to Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Yeah, it was
every
like
single
an
day for work.
8-hour road trip every day.
Yeah, it was worth it though. I got
It was so worth it.
We met,
experience.
we met Zion. So
Yeah, I
It
met
was
you
really
guys.
close to Sanford. It was only 10 hours away.
Yeah, it's not bad. So we met there.
You also met Sam Rapp there.
And yeah,
Shout out Sam Rapp.
Shout out Sam Rapp, great guy. And you invited me to a Halloween party
I did.
where I did not have a costume. And
You had a shirt that said
hold on, I'm
mustard.
getting no.
It said
No, it
carrots.
said carrots.
That's right.
Carrots.
And it's it's a French designer. His name is Anwar Carrots. And my sister showed them to me. And I had this shirt. And you guys got cardboard boxes. And one of you was a TV.
Mhm.
Sam Rapp was the building that Martin Luther pinned his thesis on.
Mm-hmm.
And
He was a church, and I was just a building.
yeah, you were a building. Ross was a TV.
Yep.
And I just had a shirt that
Forgot
says
about that.
carrots, meeting 50 people I've never met before. And everyone is like, what are you? And I just said, I'm good looking. Because carrots are good for your eyes. And nobody laughed.
No one on Halloween is that
No
witty.
one laughed. And I was like, for not having it, for coming after work in what I was wearing
Yeah.
and being like, I can make this a costume.
Yeah.
Nobody appreciated it.
No one.
And that's fine. That's okay.
It's okay. This is your redemptive moment right now
Thank you.
on this podcast. People are going to be laughing.
I really hope so.
Yeah, I vividly remember that night. I think it's such an interesting thing, like being in college and then meeting other people in Birmingham, or I guess this is probably generic to every city, who aren't in college. I just totally assumed you wouldn't want to come to that party.
Why?
I don't know. It's because like I feel like people who
I had no friends. It was either go to the party or go to the basement I was living in and play Xbox. And I was like, oh yeah, real people, yeah, for sure.
You're like,
Human
I'll see
interaction?
what I can do. Because I think you went to an unnamed restaurant that the unnamed coffee shop owned, and in between, and I went home and built my building costume, and we met at the party.
Yeah, I probably went and I will say they had a smacking BLT.
Dude, with the fried green tomatoes,
Oh, yeah.
it was unreal. It was so good.
And their sweet potato french fries were busting.
Yeah,
I
they're
said that.
busting.
Busting.
They're busting.
They were busting at the seams. And I think I had one of those, probably for free. It was probably comped,
Yeah,
and then came.
yeah, free meal every time you worked a shift. Took advantage of it
Oh,
too.
I did that every single time.
Mhm. Their food was freaking good.
It was good.
I'll be real. Yeah, I think that's. Excuse me there. No, I think that was.
Yeah.
I think that's
Flip that
yep,
in reverse. There's a secret message.
I think it's very interesting how Zion and I literally met each other by complete happenstance, and then I don't know. I guess like I'm not going to blame it completely on myself. Would you say that you're friends with Zion because of you're friends with me,
Yeah,
Myers?
kind of.
We met through you. I
Preston
think.
Preston Little.
Oh no, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
It was.
I helped
Preston.
him shoot some videos. And
It was hoping and willing. And
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, and that was how I met you guys.
Yeah.
But I became friends with Steven first, kind of. Also Jack, kind of. Somewhere in there. And then
You were always around, and then it was that summer.
Yeah, and
that
you
I
had to
feel like-
memorize. You had to memorize a lot of stuff about him.
Yep.
I did
Whenever
have
you
to
were
learn about
pledged
Jack.
Pledge
in the
brothers, you
fraternity
guys
too.
are bound.
Yeah, I was originally friends. Part of our friend group is
Cringe.
Blake Watley.
Shout out, Blake.
And I've been friends with him
Shout out,
since
Blake.
like 2018. And so
Mhm.
I knew Preston, who was shooting some of Zion's videos, and I knew Blake. So I stayed with Blake when I would come in town to film those videos. And then, yeah, we just all started hanging out. And
Yeah.
Yeah, Myers pulled up
Yeah.
on the scene and was just like, he was doing sound engineering. Look at us now.
yeah,
And you walked around and just gathered bird noises. And
I just had like
my whistling,
I
and you
think
had
I
a
had
big
literally-
long boom mic.
I don't. The funny thing is, Preston forgot his boom, so I think I literally taped a microphone to
Yep.
a golf club.
Yep.
And then he was like, I want to get some like ambiance
Ambient, yeah,
noise, you
yeah.
know? And so I'd like go up to Steven and be like, hey, can you hit a golf ball real quick? And I'd like stick the mic right next to his tee, and he'd hit a golf ball. And then I would just like walk around and try and find some birds.
Yeah.
And
And
just-
you crushed it.
Yeah, I don't know if I think he did
He-
use some of
he
the
did.
golf and walking like on the grass
did.
noises. But But anyway, it was mostly
beautiful.
it was just fun to be there. You know.
And that sparked our friendship.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy. That's also how Myers and I got close. Was that that music video shot?
Yeah,
as
because
well.
we were shooting on a golf course.
Oh, which was crazy.
Which was so cool. And most everyone there wasn't really into golf, but Steven really likes golf, and I grew up playing golf with my dad. So I also was, I kind of realized, holy cow, we're on a really nice golf course.
It was a prestigious. It's like where
Michael Jordan lived and played whenever he lived in Birmingham.
I think do they have a senior tour?
Yeah, they have one professional tournament in Birmingham a year, and they play it there.
and we were
Just like
we were
being
lollygagging.
idiots.
around and just, like pouring Martinellis all over the course and like flying on a golf cart
Yeah.
when nobody was there.
Yeah.
Because we had a friend in church who lived there.
Yeah.
And somehow, hold on to me. And somehow protected, like got us access to the course.
Yeah.
For 2 days.
Yes,
It was supposed to be one day, and then we were like, Can we really
Can we
need
have one more, please?
Yeah.
And then we
one
just
more,
went.
please.
And everyone was super chill. I really expected for people to come out and be like yelling at us.
Yeah.
Not a soul.
I actually learned this week that people call themselves like fence members at country clubs. And it's like a legit culture where you literally just jump the fence and start
nice.
playing on like hole 4 or hole 11.
Wow.
And if you can get into the flow of it, like nobody knows who.
Because they've seen you so many times.
Yeah. And they don't know who is a member and who's not a member
Right.
because it's such like a wide thing. And I think it's one of those places where a lot of people show face that they're like super involved and like into the community or whatever.
Yeah.
But they like might be playing golf for the first time in like forever, or they might be thinking you're playing golf for the first time in like 6 months or something. They just don't know who you are.
Yeah.
But that's like a legit thing. Like a lot of people have played like super prestigious courses because they just like hop the fence and go.
It's
like,
all
slide
about
in.
confidence.
It is. Yeah.
I was literally thinking about I was like, what am I going to say on the podcast? And I was like, I'm going to say something about confidence.
Wow.
And there we are.
And here we are. You said it.
It really is
What
all
do we
about
do now?
confidence. What also was fun. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. That was all I had to say. And it's so funny that the prestigiousness is their downfall, is that they're like trying to show face and act like they know. No. You think I don't know who you are? I know you. I know you.
Yeah.
But you're just like, bro, I hopped the fence. I'm 100% not supposed to be here. But they don't.
Yeah.
They don't want to show you that they don't know.
Yeah.
And that is so funny.
Here's a thought. It's kind of like fake it till you make it.
But
I think there's a good way to fake it till you make it and a bad way to fake it till you make it.
Sure.
I think the good way is you find yourself in a room where you feel uncomfortable, but you try and assimilate, you try and learn, you try and become the kind of person who would be in that kind of room.
Yep.
And then the other kind of fake it till you make it is you kind of cheat and scam your way into a room because you think you deserve it.
That's good.
And I think that the kind of confidence you're talking about is the former. Is the I want to become the kind of person who would be a freaking rock star on a stage playing music all the time.
Me and
So
Jack
I'm
used
just
to
gonna
say,
go ahead and be that.
Yeah. Me and Jack used to say, act like you've been here before.
Yeah.
'Cause we've never been there before.
Yeah, act like you've been here before. And we have never been anywhere close.
I wish I knew how.
Guys,
Man.
look, we rebuked the storm earlier.
It's actually
It's
kinda-
gone.
I mean,
That's the
freaking
power of
knock on
God.
wood.
That's the power of God.
Praise God.
Skipping over us right now.
Amen.
Yeah. Well.
So that's how we met.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's how we met. Let's reverse it.
Did you say, who am I?
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna say was let's rewind a little bit more. Like, where are you from? I don't think people know this about you.
Yeah.
Like, where are you from? How did you get to Birmingham? And then how did you get to Atlanta?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
My name is Zion Goins.
Zion Gunner.
I wasn't going to do the middle name, but that's okay. And
Government name.
I guess my government name. And I'm from Tennessee, not far from here. I was born in Cleveland. My parents live in
Ohio?
Shut up. Cleveland, Tennessee. And there are a lot of Clevelands, though.
Yeah.
Cleveland, Georgia, Cleveland, Ohio, Cleveland Brown, the TV show, Cleveland, Tennessee. And so I was born in Cleveland,
Amongst others.
amongst others. Cleveland, Rome. And I was born in Cleveland, and my parents live in like north of there. So we're like in between Knoxville and Chattanooga.
What's it called?
It's called Decatur,
10 Mile.
10 Mile.
I was going to say.
No, it's called 10 Mile, but not a lot of people know 10 Mile. And so there's 10 Mile, and then the next biggest city is Athens, and then the next biggest city is Decatur, then the next biggest city is Cleveland, then the next biggest city is Chattanooga, and
So
then
it really
you get,
takes
and then
till-
you get to Georgia.
Well, so 10 Mile is a unique name.
Yeah,
Tons of Athenses, tons of Decaturs, tons of Clevelands. Chattanooga's pretty unique.
yeah.
Unique name.
Chattanooga's unique. Knoxville's unique. 10 Mile. The joke is it's 10 miles from anything. So anyways, I grew up there for a while. I went to Ray County High School, which is in Dayton, or it's in Evansville, which is close to Dayton.
Go
Eagles.
Eagles.
Golden Eagles, baby.
Go Eagles.
We have a show tonight, and I really hope my soccer coach comes. I texted
funny.
him, and I was like, he's got kids, and I was like, I know you got babies, so get a babysitter, because I want you there tonight. So, yeah, so I grew up in Spring City at first when we moved back. I was kind of around everywhere. I started in Tennessee. We moved to Kentucky for a little while, Louisville. It sucked. And then we moved back to Tennessee, and then we moved to Georgia. We lived in Georgia for like 5 or 6 years, and then we moved back to Tennessee. So I lived in Tennessee for a while, and I basically from like 7th to the end of high school was in Tennessee. Grew up there. At the end of that, I was like 19. I'd been playing music for like 3 years. I just gotten started. And my uncle, I didn't know what I was going to do in my life. And my uncle was a pastor at a church in Birmingham. And he was like, just called me and was like, I want you to pray about this. I think maybe you should come do an internship at A2. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll pray about it. And I pretty instantly knew that I should go, because I'd gotten accepted to a school in Reading, Alabama.
Cleveland, Alabama.
Reading, California. And I just decided not to go and decided to go to Alabama. And so far, I think it's been the right choice. And but I went.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I went. I met all you guys. We kind of started playing music. Started a band. We had a drummer and a bass player that were in different bands. And then I met John, and he subbed for I think it was a Chi Omega gig that we played. And he subbed.
Shout out Gracie.
It was baller. We paid him like $400, which was a lot at the time. And which was also like, I like lessened your rate because I was like, you're not a part of the band, so you get 1% less. Like
Today's segment of Myers Business.
Myers Business,
The music biz.
the music biz. And so anyway, John comes and he's like, dude, my brother's really good at drums. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure your 17-year-old brother is great at drums. And then I heard Jacob play, and I was like, hey, will you please play drums for us, like pretty please? And so Jacob said yeah, and they had been coming to shows for a while, which was awesome. And now they are in the band. So John and Jacob are brothers, and they're in our band. But we started playing music. Will Carlisle was our producer, was our keys player, and he moved to Atlanta. And then we started thinking like, maybe we want to move to Atlanta. And Jack was like, I'm not moving to Atlanta. I grew up in Johns Creek, and I'm never going back. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. Jack was living with me at the time. It was you first, and then Jack took your place. And
Shout out Northumberland.
wait, do that one.
Which one?
That's reserved only for the wives.
What?
If you talk about Lillaby, I'll do it.
Wait, but this is
Oh,
Zion's
okay. We're getting
episode.
there. We're getting there.
Okay.
And so that's awesome. That's the thing. So, anyways, Jack is there. You're there. Or Jack replaces you. We start talking about that, and then we're like, well, let's just pray about it. And Jack is like, okay. And then we pray, and he's like, I think we should move to Atlanta too. So we decide we're going to move to Atlanta. We play a show in Atlanta, and we play at Smith's Old Bar. And then we go, and we had a sub for keys that day. His name was Elijah. And the next day we go to Valor, and we meet this beautiful woman named Lillaby. The delay is so good. So we meet this woman named Lillaby, and and I pretty much immediately fall in love. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, that was good. So I pretty much immediately fall in love, and I'm like, I'm gonna get this girl to fall in love with me. And so we'd already decided to move to Atlanta. So we moved to Atlanta. Long story short, me and Lillaby fall in love. She's my wife now, which is awesome.
Let's freaking go.
So great. And married life is the highest standard of living. Anyway, so
Side
we
note.
moved to side note, just in case you're wondering.
We love single people.
We do, but you're at a lower standard of living. Just kidding, Jack.
Oh,
He's working on it.
He's working on it. Okay, so
got some things in the
anyway,
oven.
I'm sorry, what?
Wait.
You have some things in the oven?
Are you
Which
are you saying
expecting?
you're baking her? Is she in the oven right now at your home?
Or are you expecting?
That did not land like I thought it would.
Yeah.
Is she
we
pregnant?
we can make this Zion's episode again.
Okay. We'll get back to you.
I'm not going to answer any
So
questions.
we-
Is something in the oven? A child.
No questions at this time.
Yeah, I'm not accepting questions. So we moved to Atlanta, and John comes shortly after. But we moved to Atlanta as we were just like trying to follow. We basically were like, we really think that God has something on this band and us playing music. And if we really think that and believe that, then we're going to have to follow through. And so we decided to move to Atlanta and just keep pursuing. That's what we've been doing for the past couple of years. I feel like it's going pretty great. We met some really amazing people along the way. Chris Todd kind of started doing a lot for us and is the reason behind all of our good things on Instagram and on YouTube and everything that's coming out. And so
Shout out Chris.
shout out Chris Todd. And so we're just really trying to make it a reality and make music something that we do. So
Heck yeah.
that's who I am.
Wow.
I'm a carpenter too.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. That was the next thing I was going to talk about. So, I think it's a super interesting place. And Jack, feel free to talk into this as well because you're in a similar spot with East Pole and like doing gigs and stuff. Don't talk about the gig economy, please, for the love. I'm kidding.
I'll try.
No, gig economy for all of y'all, that's a little bit because gig economy means that it's not sustainable for guitar players or drummers to live only off gigs because it's spotty. I think that's right. Is that a short synopsis of it?
More or less.
Okay, cool.
We don't have to get into
That's
it.
enough.
That's enough.
That's its own podcast.
Anyways,
That's for Jack's podcast
so
later.
Zion and Jack, y'all are in a place right now where y'all really have y'all have a following for your band. Like you can sell tickets and merch in various cities, and then, but you're not in a place to go like completely on the road or completely not 100%, but you know what I mean, like completely into it.
It's not fully self-sustaining that you can only be Zion Goins as a band. You do
So-
have to have supplemental income.
Definitely.
So like where y'all are at right now, like I think it's really cool how y'all do manage your like y'all both really love the jobs that y'all do throughout the week, and y'all both obviously really love the band. So what is that dynamic like where you're at right now, being an artist but still trying to work towards like artistry being the only thing that you spend your time doing?
You want to answer first, Jack?
I was going to let you take it because it is the Zion Goins episode, but
Dude, I just want to humbly share with you.
all right. Well, I'm not going to make it a thing.
Zion's humble.
Yeah, I can go or you can go. It doesn't matter.
I'll go.
Okay, so I'm going to go.
Anyways,
Jack,
thanks, Jack.
I'm calling on you.
It is hard. I think there's a lot, and I think this is a lot of what I'm feeling lately. But I think there's some delusion that goes into it, and I think it's more realistically put for our situation. It's more faith in God, because you are putting so much time and effort. And I was thinking about this because someone at the coffee shop asked me, "How long have you been playing?" And I said 16 years, and
Which is true.
It's true. But then you get to a point where you kind of get a little bit of the imposter syndrome and a little bit of the, man, I feel like I should be better for having played 16 years. And so you have to like really, I feel tired a lot because you work hard at this place. For me, it's East Pole. For Zion, it's
What is the name of the place?
that's what I was trying to remember.
That's okay. Plugging it. Rustic Trades.
Today's
That's what it
episode
was.
is sponsored by Rustic Trades.
Let me talk
Surprise,
about
Zion, we got a sponsorship.
If you
Hey,
need a
let's go.
table or anything made out of wood,
chair, cabinet, Lazy Susan.
freaking car,
Maybe if you need a piece of wood that's just sanded.
You just need a piece of wood that's real smooth.
you're trying to frame your house.
which is just a cutting board or a charcuterie board.
Ooh, a bed. You
bed,
could
right?
make a
Yeah.
wooden pool, a boat.
Wait, what?
You can make a boat out of wood.
You said a
You can make
wooden pool, and then called it a boat?
That's
No,
a
that was
sunk
like a
boat.
wooden pool, comma, a boat.
I thought you were pairing them together, and I was like, yeah, maybe if you fill the boat.
It's kind of like the opposite of one another if you think about it.
Yeah, it totally is. But here's the thing. A wooden boat on water is working.
That's
and then
facts.
you fill that boat with water. Now it's a pool.
Wow.
Wow.
Does it still float?
No, it's full of water.
I guess it depends on how much water. All right.
is sung. But bringing it home.
So I work at Rest of Trades. You work at East Paul. I almost said East Fork.
Great shop too. Great home goods.
What is he doing?
East Fork.
East Fork.
Oh,
It's
East Fork. Okay, gotcha.
It's a home good and lifestyle shop in Atlanta.
Home goods.
Yeah.
Go.
I'm gonna start talking again. But we have these jobs, we have these day jobs, and they help sustain us. But I feel like there's a tension because it takes away time that we could be working on our craft. And when I do get to the end of the day, it's harder to want to stay diligent and put in that work. And so I think there's a lot of faith in God to trust that your hard work is going to bring you joy, because Ecclesiastes, your work is your portion, and honor God in what you do. And so that's been heavy on my mind, so I might as well just plug that. Shout out God.
Shout out Ecclesiastes.
Everything is
Great book.
meaningless.
That's not what that book means.
Hevel.
But yeah, and so I think
kind of.
having
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I think having the day job is necessary, but I think it reminds us that we are not ultimately, because if we could do whatever we want, we would provide for ourselves doing music, but ultimately we do not get to choose where our feet land, and so that is where God has placed us, and so we're going to work hard, and maybe one day it'll be full-time music, maybe it won't, but I think God will always, hopefully have us doing something in music, and if that's the case, we'll try really hard to do that well.
Yeah. I think it's a funny line where for a long time I was like, I got to do music full time or I am an imposter. I was like, I'm doing this and people listen to music and yada yada yada, or people seem to like my stuff online and in person, and then when I go to to show, it's kind of harder to sell tickets in certain areas or whatever, and it's hard to get shows in certain areas. Just because it's really not that hard. We just have to do it, to be honest with you, which is a lot of stuff. And it's something that I struggle with. But I just remember feeling like if I get a side job, then I'm an imposter. It's like I'm not actually doing it. And for the longest while, I was like, if I get another job that takes my time, then I'm giving up on this thing that I have pursued for so long. And then I just got over that. There's a lot of pride in the way of there where you're just it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And I started viewing my job as something that supplements the dream. And so I was like, if I want to do this, and I need to support my family, I need to support my wife, and I need to support our living and her dreams as well as mine.
Yeah.
Then I need to do something that will supplement that. And so then I was like, well, what is something that I can do that I also am really passionate about? Because God also wants us to be well-rounded men. It's not just Zion can write songs. That's all he can do. Or Jack can play the guitar. That's all he can do.
Right.
Yeah. I decided to leave coffee, and I wanted to build stuff. And so now I'm a carpenter. And that also supplies a dream where I was like, oh, so how do I create a world where I'm doing something on the side that I love, and it also is kind of cutting a path for our future? Because now I can build stuff forever. So then the dream became, I want to do music and I want to build furniture for people and do my own shop one day. So I think you have to get to a place where you get over the pride of if you're young and single and you have the ability to just go for it, just go for it. Just do it. Really you have the whole world at your hands, and you have this ability to just go anywhere, do anything, and really dive into it. And if you can't do that, you still have the ability to do that. You just have to supplement your income with something so that you can pursue a dream.
Yeah.
And have someone that supports you to pursue a dream. So my wife Lilby is the most incredible supportive person, and lets me come and do stuff like this. And she's working this morning, and then we'll be off this afternoon. But we've both worked all week, and now I'm doing a concert. And so you have to. It just gets a little messier when you're later on in life. But I think it's just find something that you enjoy doing, that you can be passionate about, that will also supplement the real dream that you have.
Man,
it's a good word.
That's might be
really
the most serious your podcast has ever been.
Literally has been. Yeah. Kind of amazing. Yeah, I think there's so many different ways, to think about this portion of life that we're in, and obviously it ebbs and flows. It's not like one day you just make it and everything's good. You know, I think that there will be different parts of life where, you could be like I don't know, like the band Sales. They were super small. Like I went and saw them at Saturn in Birmingham forever ago, and there was 100 people there, which is very similar to where it might be at Chattanooga tonight. Zion's playing a concert tonight in Chattanooga. And
if you're in Chattanooga, come out.
Yeah, please show up. Yeah, in reverse. When this episode drops in 1 month, please come to Chattanooga 1 month ago. No, but I went to a show at for Sales at Saturn for 1,000 people, and then they blew up on TikTok, and then they were selling out shows everywhere, and then TikTok songs die, and they just are back to their normal amount of streams and normal amount of people come to their concert. So it could be something like that too, and you might have to relearn. Yeah. So there's just so many different things, and not to I work at a church, and I don't want to make this podcast hyper churchy at all, because I want people to be able to listen to it that aren't into that kind of stuff too. No, but Ecclesiastes is a really great example, because there's two authors. There's a pastor, and then there's Solomon. Well, arguably Solomon. Nobody knows really who it is. And Solomon, if it is him, kind of complains about the complexities of all this stuff the entire time in very, very relatable ways. But then the pastor at the very end says what you said, and it's the best thing to do is just, drink and be happy and enjoy work as much as you can. It just very, puts it very simply. Yeah. Because I think a lot of times it just gets suffocating when you try to overanalyze how everything is. But at the end of the day, just kind of applying pretty simple logic of I like building things. Yeah. I want to go build things. Yeah. Is all you really need for it,
And I'll tell you what too. I mean, I love coffee. It's very fun, and I would work 6 or 8 hour days. And at the end of those days, I would just be really exhausted and tired. Yeah. But now I'm working 8.5, 9 hour days almost every day, lifting heavy stuff and building stuff. But I come home and I'm
exhilarated.
I'm physically a little tired, but I'm not drained. Yeah. I enjoy the work that I do, and it can just be that simple. It's just Jesus built stuff. I want to build stuff while I wait to play music.
Yeah. So you're still working in coffee.
I am still working in coffee.
I feel like one thing we could talk about for a while here is the random micro struggles and micro tiredness that coffee does throughout an entire day, working a shift. Do you still feel that?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty burnt out right now.
Really?
Oh yeah. I'm grateful for coffee, and I think it has enriched my life in a lot of ways, because now I'll get to enjoy coffee forever, and I will always be able to know now that I love the act of serving my friends coffee. And so I think my life has been blessed and graced with what coffee has been for me. I think that chapter is coming to an end, and so I think by summer, I'm going to be. I hope Johnny doesn't listen to this podcast.
Johnny,
because
this will come out in I think May. So
cool. That's actually kind of my goal. Is to
this will be the catalyst to make you actually do
Johnny.
it.
You can share it to
Johnny. Fire Jack.
You can share
this
it to Johnny.
This is my contingency plan.
Yeah.
This video will be automatically sent to Johnny's email. This will be my 2 weeks. Johnny, this is my 2 weeks. I love you.
That's so funny, dude.
But I'm going to be quitting East Pole.
That's so good.
Hope this email finds you well.
Yeah. I mean, it's super interesting too, because it's Zion and Jack, wait, did you work in coffee in Birmingham? Am I dumb and forgetting something?
No, I didn't work in
think
coffee.
so.
He worked at Hero for
That's right. Hero, shout out Hero. Hero just opened up a new location in Birmingham, and it's freaking beautiful.
Let me just saying you worked in coffee at Hero Donuts.
Yeah. No, I wasn't a.
Let me just
you were a
correct you
bartender.
real
I was a
quick.
bartender.
I remember showing up one time at 10 a.m. and you were like, "You want a mimosa?" And I was like, "I'm good."
It's 10 o'clock.
It was a hard sell. We only sold drinks to the night shift nurses.
Dude. I still have no idea how that location. I feel like no one's ever in there. Sorry if anyone from the Hero or Pahacki's group is listening.
No, they're listening.
I love Hero. I want that location to be open. I just don't understand how financially it stays open.
I love eating at Hero. I did not love working at Hero.
Yeah.
But I only worked there for 3 weeks, and then I technically got fired.
I have a lot of positive cognitive association with that Hero location because on the day before my wedding. No, the day of my wedding. When did we go to Hero after Topgolf? No, we went to Hero the day before.
Yeah, I was like, we're not going to Hero on your wedding day.
No. So the day before my wedding, we like went and played golf or something like that, and everybody met me at Hero, like everybody who came in town, and I opened up the email that I got my current job while I was there, like the day before so it was like wedding friends, and I got the job, and I was like, frick, I remember sitting there, and I like looked over at my old boss, Craig, and I was like, hey, man. Looks like we'll be working together. I remember that. he was like, yeah, I know. Let's go.
I know. I hired you.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a good day. But no, I think it's really interesting too, because working at Eastpole, one of the best coffee shops in Southeast Atlanta country. I don't know, like it's an amazing coffee shop, and then working at Valor, unbelievably good coffee shop. Like Zion and Jack have worked at the best cafes. Myers and I didn't work at the best cafes, but we also fell in love with working at coffee still, you know?
Yeah, deep sigh.
I actually worked at legitimately the best coffee shop in America, but we don't have to talk about that.
No, you worked at the best roaster in America. Shut your mouth.
Yeah,
That's a good clarification.
You know, at its true essence, the coffee bean, the reason that we have coffee shops, mine was the best.
Steven worked at a Jittery Joe's.
Oh, man.
Red Mountain Espresso.
Red Mountain Espresso, dude.
Today's episode is sponsored by Red Mountain Espresso. Again, if you have anything to do with that, if you work there or if you have anything to do with that business, we actually appreciate you. And you're actually one of the only coffee shops who stayed open in Birmingham. So,
no, if we're asking a question of how is someone still open, that is a good question.
Yeah.
As well as aforementioned.
I literally know one of our listeners works there, so we should be quiet.
I worked at Revelator. I actually took Zion's job when he left.
That's right, yeah.
Zion worked at Revelator. That place is closed now because it was terribly run and it was not a very good coffee shop. But it was fun to work there.
It was a cool shop. They paid well.
They paid really well, and that was the main reason I worked there.
And that was the main reason they went out of business.
Yo, shout out to Chip. What's the other guy's name that would come in screaming?
Davis?
Shout out to Chip. But Chip wasn't screaming. And Davis.
Davis would come in and rearrange everything.
Oh, Andreas.
Andreas is
that's
a legend.
What you meant. I thought Davis was the guy who worked there.
No.
Andreas was the guy who probably had some kind of mental disorder who would come.
Shout out to Toro.
Yeah.
Toro, who threw a brick at my car.
Who's the guy who you bought the shirt from?
That was Chip.
Chip, yeah, that's who it was.
I bought a shirt off Chip's back one day and gave him a sweater.
And you gave that shirt to me?
No, I gave that to my brother.
You did buy a shirt from someone while you were working at Revelator, and you gave it to me.
Oh, no. I bought a shirt when I was in Athens at 1,000 Faces off a guy that was working.
That was this shirt was made out of 100 trees or something like that.
It said this shirt is recycled or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
And he was like, I hate this shirt. And I was like,
why are you wearing it?
I'll trade you. And so I traded him like this Caton shirt that I had, or Catine, whatever you say it.
Yeah.
I love that shirt.
Yeah.
Do you ever wear the shirt I got you?
It's really small. Gracie wears it sometimes.
Dadgummit.
It's like a medium.
He was a small stature guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Shout out that guy. But anyways, the reason I brought that up about the coffee, y'all work at some of the best coffee shops, and y'all still even kind of have figured that out. You know what I mean? So I think that's like another way to kind of discern that kind of stuff is. Like if you think you like something, which I definitely think we all were obsessed with coffee at one point in our life, like you got to just like chase it until you get to the best, and then if you still don't like it, then it's like you probably just got to move on to something else. So
climb that mountain, get to the top, find another mountain to climb.
Parasail down.
Freaking jump off. Hopefully you land.
Put on a wingsuit and just dive.
Land on your feet.
Dive, boys.
I think also, like, it was never, even when I was in coffee, I was never like, oh, I want to start a shop one day.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is good. It's flexible. It's fun. There, I meet a lot of creative people.
Yeah.
That's it. And then once I was married and I was like, what am I building? Like, what am I building for my life and my kid's life? And what abilities am I gaining? I was like, nothing. I just want to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with that. And also, it's just never my full intention. I don't think it's ever Jack's intention, or he's like, I want to start a shop one day.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it was any. Well,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
it was you one day.
I got a good segment for us here.
Oh,
It was
here we go,
definitely-
baby.
It was
Let's get
definitely
goofy.
ours.
Let's
at some
go.
point.
Okay, we have. I think this is the generic. So, welcome to season 2. We have new sounds. So today's new generic segment is going to be a little bit of New York storefront.
I'm
Okay.
blown away.
So if you
I loved that. That was delightful.
can we just let it happen?
Let's talk more about that.
Okay, so today's generic segment, New York storefront. Okay, so if you were in New York, really cool, whatever you associate in New York with being the coolest. Some people think Brooklyn, you know, the tall brown. What are those things called? The
Skyscrapers.
The
no,
brown
the
home.
the really aesthetic homes in Brooklyn.
Oh, what are they
call
called?
them? There's a name for 'em.
Brown brick.
The Painted Ladies is what I want to say, but that's San Francisco. That's not it. Something
Yeah,
like that.
Something like that.
Anyways,
Brownstone.
Brownstone.
Brownstone. That's what it is. If it's like some people think Brownstone, some people think Lower East Side, whatever it may look like. I would love to hear for you if you could open up anything and you knew it was going to be successful. You knew you were going to get financial compensation appropriately. What would it be? What would it look like?
Jack, you want to go first?
I'll go first. I think this has actually been heavy on my mind lately because
Oh, we just talked about this. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. So I have been realizing lately, in the name of like, what are we building? I love interior design, and I'm actually going to start climbing that mountain and seeing if I like that.
Let's go.
So what that looks like practically is interior design consulting and working with creative people that wield the camera well to create scenes that capture lived in spaces. But I think in a New York storefront, that would look like a design studio where I would just have a full seamless scope of lived in to worked in. And so I would like, this is going to fully encompass, my vision for this is going to fully encompass the things that I love from a designed perspective. So like, it's going to look like making coffee, but in a space that I get to serve my friends and not in a commercial sort of way. It's going to look like making music in a designed space that inspires me to continue to make better music because I'm inspired by the things that are in that room. It's going to inspire me to rest when I have my living space. And so just a studio and a shop to showcase these elements portrayed seamlessly, because I do like the seamless aspect of having your workspace flow into your living space, flow into your hosting space.
Have you ever, you know what this is reminding me of? That Ordinary Pleasures Toro y Moi music video?
Yep.
Dude,
That is literally, like, I forget, that's something studios. What's it called? Do you
I don't
remember?
know.
It was somewhere in Los Angeles, but it is like what you're talking about. It had like a graphic design, a graphic design studio had a clothing thing, and it had like actual like music like booths upstairs too. Like that place was so cool.
That would be sick.
And it had beautiful, like, sofas were amazing, like
So
like
cool.
rugs were, I mean, like all the design stuff were, and lights. I remember everything about it. I was like, this place is freaking unreal. You got to open up one of those. New York City, baby. What would it be called?
New York.
what would it be called? The name is still something I've been wrestling with
That's
because
a really long name.
I don't want to do anything that sounds Pinteresty or live, laugh, lovey.
So the name is
Something I've been wrestling with.
Something I've been wrestling with.
It's-
is I
it's
don't
called
want
Live,
something-
Laugh,
Something I've
Love.
been wrestling
really
with it would be a
Pinteresty.
dope name.
That actually would
Something
be
I've
cool.
been wrestling with studios.
You can call it Iron Claw.
It's called Live, Laugh, Love
So he's
Design.
like, did we just do something? That's one of Sully's favorite sayings. I kind of love that
Wait a
about him.
minute.
Yo, I think I just did something.
Hold on.
Wait a minute, studios.
That's actually kind of cool. Wait a minute, studios, and it's
Yeah.
like all about pausing and reflecting on a space.
Wow.
Ooh.
There you go. There's
Okay.
your.
Yo.
You just send my royalty check to my address.
All right, it'll be for
Yeah,
99%.
Myers also gets naming rights for Elliott Cafe, Elijah's New Cafe. Apparently, he was the one who came up with that name.
I didn't come up with
No,
that
that's
nickname,
not true.
But I.
He
I
totally said that, though.
No, I did. I said I forgot that I used to call him that all the time.
Well,
When I met
Elijah, Ethan made it up.
Yeah.
No, this is definitely
Well-
a bit. I definitely don't think Mars. I'm just trying to mess with Mars.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay because Ethan doesn't really like get on social media, so it's okay. We can
When
say
I
that you
met
did it.
Elijah Knapp, our friend, people referred to him as Elliot. This is the guy who played keys for Zion.
This is
who
the
worked
guy
at
who
Valor.
basically wingmaned me into my marriage. It
Yes.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Along with you two. You guys did a lot of work that night.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I didn't go.
But anyways,
talking.
Elijah was. I was introduced to him as Elliot, even though his name is Elijah, and then I didn't actually know which one of them was his real name at first, and then eventually I put two and two together. I learned Elijah's his real name, Elliot's his nickname, but then I called him Elliot for a long time.
Right.
Ethan just likes to nickname people. Like he introduced his wife to me as Guppy.
Guppy. Shout out Guppy.
And then I was like,
Shout out Temple.
I feel like I can't call her that because that sounds like a pet name
It's
between
pretty,
him and his
intimate.
wife. And I was like, I'm not gonna call your wife Guppy. I'm just not gonna do that. But I
Yeah,
did
I
call
tried it out a
Elijah
couple
This
times.
is honey.
Yeah.
This is baby girl.
I don't know. Pookie.
Yo, Pookie is the I can't stand the pet name Pookie.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. Is that what you say?
But what about?
You call?
Absolutely
But what
not.
about
Okay.
when Pookie is looking
I don't even
That's
know.
true. That's true.
Like Sam Rapp.
fair.
I hope you're not listening right now, Sam Rapp. Sam Rapp calls Grace Boo.
That's
And
not bad.
I feel like that. It's just.
It's definitely not Pookie, dude.
It's better
Yeah.
than Pookie.
I think it's the ooh sound. In it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
I think
so
you're right.
what
I
do
think
we
you're
what
right.
do we think about pet names for our respective girlfriends and wives? Is that a yes or a no?
Yeah. I call Lily B Dove.
That's
Dove.
cute.
Yeah.
It's a cute name.
when you do something that is like so exclusive to you, I love it.
Yeah.
But not when it's not
It's kind of
weird.
like your secret name.
Yeah, well, Dove, because like we just call each we're Birdie and Pup. So like she's Birdie, I'm Pup.
Yeah.
Right? That's probably what our grandparent names will be.
That's a good.
And so I
name.
call her
That's
Dove
cute.
because it goes with Birdie.
Mm.
And then there's a song called Dove on one of our albums that like is about her.
Yeah.
So
It's a good freaking song.
thanks, man.
I'm
I'm into it.
when
I call her
Gracie and
baby
I.
all the time.
This is the only thing I ever call Gracie because I think calling Gracie, I like love calling my wife her name. I don't really know. There's like depths to that, but anyways, I like
It was deep.
when we're on the pickleball court, I call her JG because her name's Jennifer Grace.
That's baller. JG Wentworth, bro.
JG, yeah. But I'm like, come on, JG or Gingy is what her dad calls her sometimes,
Nice.
like Jennifer, like Jen G.
Yeah. That's good.
But yeah,
That's a good one.
her dad, like her dad's name is John McCloud Walker, so people call him Cloud Walker.
What?
That's a sick
I think
So
that's sick.
cool. That is
Yeah.
so cool,
Whoa.
actually.
Respect.
I might be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure that's what people.
Well, if people don't call him that,
They should
we're gonna
start.
start calling
Yeah.
him.
I'm
that.
calling him Cloud
it's either
Walker from now
McCloud
on.
John Walker or John McCloud. I can't remember which one's his middle
Yeah.
name, but I'm pretty
Even
sure.
if his first name is McCloud, bro, that's freaking sick.
Did anyone?
Mhm.
Claire and I made fun of
You can
the
also
pet
call him
name
Jay Walker.
thing. We didn't love the pet name thing, but then we jokingly started calling each other Pumpkin because we thought it was like,
Oh, dude.
That's
gross.
what my
That
dad called me for the
pronunciation.
first 10 years of my life.
Dude, the pronunciation of that pumpkin.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
There's
this
some
is
stuff.
a terrible thing. But then she shortened it to Punk.
okay, that's tight.
So now
That's not
she
punk.
does
Hey,
she does
punk.
call me Punk,
That is
which
cool.
is actually kind of funny.
What's up, punk?
Putting the N on the
Yeah.
end, pumpkin. Oh,
Yeah, I
Apostrophe.
oh,
it's funny that we gained pet names from making fun of pet
that's
names.
baller.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Sully, where are you at
arc.
in this
Yeah.
in this journey? Of
You got a
yours?
girl, because you got a girl.
I got a girl.
Her name is Allie.
Her name is
Allison.
Allie. I call her Allison.
Well, her name is Allison. You call her Allie, right?
No.
Oh,
I
other
feel like
way.
we should have like a half one of those for girlfriends.
A different one.
I don't get the full one.
It like does that at the end.
Oh well, that doesn't make it sound fun at all.
We just gotta make you want, you know. You have to
You
join
gotta
the
earn-
highest
you gotta
standard of
earn the
living
bass
according to
boost.
science.
You gotta earn the bass boost.
Yeah, I guess girlfriends get like a treble boosted one.
Yeah.
Bass boost.
It's like just a high frequency sound.
Yeah.
Only dogs can hear it.
Dogs like, sorry, never mind. We're gonna stop that bit. All right, what do you?
I saw where you were going with that,
Yeah.
and I respect it, but we'll move on. You know, you said, where am I at with that? And I'm not rushing it. I think it's easy to find
Yeah.
yourself in a cringy situation. And so I think, you know, we're 2 months in. We're early stages. We're feeling it out. So we're not
You're in love.
we are in love.
That's pretty sweet.
Huge.
That's definitely new
Come on.
and exciting.
Come on.
So, the pet names have not entered in yet because I think they can be done poorly.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think it's kind of when you find one that works, like it's like asking for a nickname. It's like asking for a nickname.
Yeah.
No one wants
That's
to
so true.
like make their own nickname. And
Yeah.
so when you find it, it's like, oh, like I never asked or chose to be called Sully through my baseball years
Yeah.
and back in my college days. And then
Baseball
Steven
tenures.
still calls me that. But
Sorry.
no, I don't mind Sully. It found its way to me, and
It is
It's who
funny.
you
I
are.
don't call you Sully. I just call you Jack. And sometimes when he says Sully, it takes me a second to realize, oh yeah, he's talking about Jack. And there are a couple people who call you Steve.
Yeah.
Most people, Steven prefers to be called Steven. But
Yeah.
there are
but,
a few people
to
who call
the
him
same
Steve.
extent. Like, and again, I really hate that I keep referencing the fraternity because we're not really proud of that part of our life. But
We're not
But,
friends because
I'm
of
gonna
the
walk out.
fraternity. It's just that we happened to be in the same fraternity.
But in a very similar way, like I met Jack when I met Jack as Sully. He met me as Steve. So you call me Steve. Like your go-to for me is Steve because like that's what everyone in the fraternity called me, and everyone called you Sully.
yeah, and like,
And I hate that, but that's just kind of how my brain.
and I'm
learned
slowly
you.
reverting back toward like I don't dislike Sully. It does feel a little fraternal, but like
Yeah.
I welcome whatever.
Yeah.
Call me what you like.
Call me what you like, and I'll say
Yeah.
what's up, buddy.
Yeah, but I feel
I'll
like it's
call you something back,
because
bucko.
with people that I'm like close to, like what Zion one day, like when, like I guess when we were living together, you called me Steve, and you're like, "Do you like being called Steve?" And I was like, "Honestly, no. Like I really like Steven. It's my name.
Yeah.
I like my name." And
We had that same conversation. at
And I
some
probably
point, too.
said, whatever, Steve.
you probably, yeah, and
I think actually, I call you Steve O a lot.
you do,
Yeah.
but like when serious conversations happen, you do refer to me as Steven.
Oh, yeah.
Like when the time comes. So, but I feel like it's
not animals.
almost unfair. Like Chase Abel, like who I work with.
Yeah.
She calls me Steve still, and she feels so bad whenever I tell someone like if I meet. I don't know. I've been in situations before where she'll call me Steve, and then someone who I've shared with that I don't like being called Steve will be like, "Wait, I thought you didn't like being called Steve." And Chase is like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And if I feel like unfair to her because she's been calling me Steve for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's unfair to make those people change, you know.
Yeah.
But if I can cut it at the
Grandfathered
beginning,
in.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get
they're-
that.
You were grandfathered into calling me Steve. Congrats.
I love it.
Same with Jacob McClendon,
Dude.
Well, I feel like
who's late right now
commemorates-
because he's a bum.
Dude,
he doesn't know
if
how
I
time
hear-
zones work.
If I hear I forgot about the time switch again, I'm like, basically, anytime you leave Alabama, it's probably gonna change.
Yeah.
Stop.
Literally, yeah.
I know he'll listen to this. And I texted him and I said, Jacob, every time you come to Chattanooga or Tennessee, like there's some parts of Tennessee that are in the central time zone. But I was
If
like,
you go
if
east-
you're going east, the time changes.
Yeah.
Just assume.
And he called when he actually got on the phone this morning. He was like, "Hey, sorry, my phone fell off the bed." What the heck does that even mean? What does he said?
What?
I slept through the alarms. I didn't see any of the calls. My phone fell off the bed.
I think my
You don't have a
hunch-
side table. You're like 20 years
Unless he
old.
lives on a bunk bed.
He does.
He does.
Is he on the
But
top
you
bunk?
still,
He's in
like-
a
Is he on
dorm.
the top bunk?
He is on the top bunk.
Okay,
So I'm like,
well,
your
maybe.
phone's either broken or you're lying.
Well, it didn't
Like-
ring any of the times that I called.
Oh,
His
really?
phone
He
was
said John
definitely
called
dead.
him an ungodly number of times.
Yeah.
Good.
How many times do you
good.
think you called him, John? Like 20? Between 12 and 15.
times.
We
All
probably
right.
called him a combined 30 times this morning.
Which is
to get him
good.
up. And I called the guy who lives on the bottom bunk, Sam.
Okay, I was gonna
And
call
that's
him.
what yeah.
Nice.
But anyways, I
We
feel like
eventually got
with those
him.
trendy like dorm room like top bunk side tables, like I'm gonna buy him one.
Let's get him one. I
Amazon
can make him one.
$10.
Literally, yeah. It's just a freaking clamp with
Well,
a
yeah.
piece of wood. That's it.
Not to promote Amazon, but yours would be like $1,000 for a side table for like single origin
Yeah,
white
and there's
oak.
these freaking dudes in Bangladesh that make them for like $3. Go with them.
They make them all day long. No shoes, no tools. Pretty awesome.
Just bare freaking hands.
They just break the wood in half.
Just
Use
like
their fingernails
rubbing
on
it
there.
with
Use
their
their
hands.
Put their
fingernails.
bare
Glue.
hands, like forge metal in the
Yeah,
They
fire.
just sand it on their
Freaking-
thighs.
They have high burn tolerance.
Okay, there you go.
What the heck were we even talking about?
We were talking about nicknames.
Nicknames.
And Steve-O and
Yep.
Sully. And you're saying Jacob calls you Steve.
Oh yeah, So I met Jacob whenever I was whenever he was in high school because he was friends with my sister, and everybody
Shout
in
out Sally.
Gardendale. Yeah, shout out Sally. Love you, girl. That sounded weird. Love you, Sally.
My sister.
Love you, girl. I love you, girl. I love you, Pookie.
Love you. Love you. Gosh. No, stop. But anyways, everybody at Gardendale called him Jake. And so I call him Jake now, and he just like doesn't care.
That's a big switch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I have
wants
him
to
in
be
my phone as
Jacob.
Jake.
Yeah, there's a guy named Wayne,
Sick name.
at Sanford, and his name his entire life was like Austin or something.
Wayne is
and he
way
showed
cooler
up
than
showed up
Austin.
at college, and he was like, "I'm Wayne."
Yep. And that was a good move.
I never had any nicknames growing up, and I told one of my friends that in like 2020, and she was like, I'm gonna find a nickname for you. And then one time I was like, I came back in town, I saw them for a second, I was leaving, she said, "Bye, my."
Oh.
And I was like, nope, that's not it.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
not
And then
gonna
I
lie.
told
Started calling
Steven
you
that
that.
story, and then that became my nickname.
Yeah, bye-bye. And honestly, I feel like
Mej.
Miles has kind of
Miles, 'cause-
And
dude,
people do
one
call you
time-
Miles.
one
Guys, don't
time,
forget Mej. Mej.
Mej caught on.
Oh yeah, Jack Sullivan. His nickname's Jej. Forgot about that.
Well, that came from Blake Watley.
Yeah.
Blej.
Blake's like the
or
king of
Blej,
the-
if you will.
Blush, if
Of
you will.
course. Yeah, we had a neighbor
Sheesh.
that was friends with us exclusively, so Lane Mitchell's dog and her dog could hang out,
Yeah.
and she did not get our humor. And so Blake, to steer into the skid, introduced her to me and said, "This is Jack, but people call him Jej." And it made her so
And she
uncomfortable.
never hung out ever again.
No,
She's like,
legitimately, she
yeah.
did not come back.
Yeah.
She
That
never
makes
came
sense.
back.
Makes
Who
sense.
was that?
I don't remember her name.
Yeah, me
What
either.
was the name of the girl that was from California that worked at the unnamed coffee shop with us that hung out at that apartment all the time?
From California?
Yeah, she's from Orange County.
Oh,
This doesn't matter at all. But she
I
lived.
know
I
who you're
thought
talking
she
about.
lived in what was
Oaks?
Exis? What is it called?
Oh, Megan.
Oh,
Megan.
Megan Koski.
Yeah.
That's who it
Koski.
is. Yeah.
What
I
is
thought
the
you meant
name
the
of that
Oaks.
place? Not Exis. What is
Essex.
Essex.
Okay. There's my dyslexia surfacing again. Essex.
X's.
We got me night in Essex.
One nickname
purple.
I was doing a thing at Stanford one time, and I introduced myself to this girl, and she thought that I introduced myself as Milk. So for like a week, she called me Milk, and I really
That
wanted
is a
that.
good freaking nickname.
I wanted that to catch on as my nickname,
Milk.
but it
What
didn't.
up, Milk?
But one
Milk?
time, Claire like drew me a little carton of milk and like wrote a note to me.
That's awesome.
So that's the one
Wow.
So
one
we're-
week where my nickname was Milk.
That's awesome.
In
Yeah.
high school, my friends everybody called me Peacock, and because that's my last name, and then that turned into P. So everybody, like
Could have went the
literally,
other way. Could have went the other
What
way.
up,
Could have been
P?
worse.
It could have been worse, yeah. But literally, like all high school, P, what's up?
What up,
All
P?
my
What up,
the
poop?
girls, my grade,
Yeah, it could have been poop. That's what I meant by the other way.
it could have been poop. It was
Imagine
P.
if your nickname was Poop.
What up, poop? What up, little
I'm
dude?
not gonna lie. Whenever I was in
Stanky boo.
Cuba 2 weeks ago
What's up,
on that
little
mission trip,
stank?
I met a girl or met a woman, and she doesn't know what this means in English, but her name was Poopy, Puppi. I was like, "Come te llamas?" She was like, "Poopy," and I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Poopy," and then I like looked at my translator, and my translator again was like, "Her name's Poopy. It's like a normal name here,"
Nice.
and I was like, "Cool."
Oh.
So literally, like the whole time,
That's great.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, I like prayed with her at the end, and like praying
Yes.
for someone by
Yes.
name with the name Poopy.
Awesome. Bucket list.
Bucket list opportunity check.
To go back to the milk thing,
Yeah.
I know this story's not going to be funny now that I'm talking.
That's okay. You can either go down that path or we can move on.
I think I want to do it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna segue. My name also gets a lot. It's just because it's Zion.
Yeah.
And when I first meet people, they will say Zion. So if anybody
Yeah.
listens to this, it's not Zion. It's
Public
Zion.
service announcement
PSA.
is like if you say
Public service announcement to my boss. my boss calls me Zion.
like line.
On.
Yeah, and that's fine. And now I'm in a spot too where I'm like, I've been working there for a couple months. I'm like, do I just be like, hey bro, it's Zion, but I love you. Because sometimes he does it right. He'll say Zion and then he'll go back to Zion.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. But at work, I recently just bought myself a nice tape measure because I use it every day. Got myself a Milwaukee.
Come on.
Let's freaking go.
And I like doing this thing where I black out other letters to spell something else.
Mm-hmm. Blackout poetry.
Yeah.
Lucky. I'm so curious what this.
It says
It
milk.
just says milk.
it says milk.
That's funny.
So my tape measure has my name on it with lightning bolts,
I
and
love
then it
that.
just says milk.
Milk.
That's perfect.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's it.
I love milk.
Shout out Milwaukee.
Yo, milk is good.
Milk is
I'm
tasty.
back on a milk train,
Yeah.
and whole milk. Steven's little dumpy tummy can't handle it. You know what? Actually, what kind of milk do you drink?
What do you mean?
Like if you drink whole milk, are you drinking like Kroger brand whole milk, and it's like whole milk, or are you drinking like grade A homogenized?
I will say
non-homogenized.
Fairlife.
So my buddy
Frick
Tucker.
Fairlife.
My buddy
No,
Tucker.
Promised Land's the bad one, right? Promised Land
No,
had some bad-
Fairlife one. That was the sketchy one.
See,
Yeah,
I think this
Fairlife.
is so interesting because I think this
Promised
is one of
Land
the areas
chocolate milk is from
where
Fairlife.
like, okay, so you have like people that are just like everyday normal people, and then you have people that are like super like indie, and then you have people who are like super duper indie, and I feel like super duper indie people are kind of coming back around
Yeah.
to milk. Like they're
Yeah.
like you have the middle ground of
That
oat
was me.
milk.
That's me.
I'm
Yeah.
still into oat milk because I genuinely have diarrhea every time I drink whole
I'm gonna
milk.
fix it. I'm gonna fix it.
But Tucker got this. He literally bought milk and
Yep.
got it shipped to Birmingham from Indiana or no
I don't
Idaho
know if you gotta go that far, but
because it is the only like farm in America, according to him,
This is
that
false.
got
I already
like
know it.
grandfathered in to like literally like
raw milk?
0% affected milk. I mean, it is like straight from.
raw. It's raw milk.
It's like
not
straight
pasteurized.
from
It's not homogenized.
zero pasteurization, and like
Okay, that's
everywhere
awesome.
else
That's
in
raw
America,
milk.
at least has like partially
Yeah.
pasteurization
Well, you
because
can't-
of
so
chemicals and
you
stuff.
can't
But
sell. I know this. You can't sell raw milk because like pasteurization takes bacteria out that's harmful for you,
Yeah.
or could be. So there are farms that sell whole milk, but they have to market it as milk for dogs and cats. So if you go, like my friends that buy
Wow.
raw milk and it says milk for dogs and cats, da da da, and then it has like a Bible verse on it that says Jesus is the Savior. It's awesome.
Whoa.
But okay,
no, it's from Georgia.
yeah, it's in Georgia.
Where do you get it at? Farmers Market?
No. Yeah, you have to like. I think you have to like go on Facebook Marketplace and look up raw milk, or like
Oh, okay.
even with eggs. Like people can't sell eggs, so they sell you an egg carton, and the eggs come with it, and it's like
That's so
egg carton's
interesting.
$6, and you get a dozen eggs or whatever.
Interesting.
Okay. So anyway, you need to get just like grade A milk, and that's literally what it's called because it's when farms feed cows grain. It's like not what cow stomachs were made for. So it produces this bad protein that hurts your stomach. And it's cheaper, it's easier, da da da. Cows are made to eat grass. So when you have a grass-fed cow, they produce an A2 protein in their stomach, and that is what gets into your milk. There was a girl who would come into Valor. Every time she came in, she would get a oat milk cappuccino. Her name was LP. Shout out LP. And she would always say, I want to try whole milk, but I know it's going to mess my stomach up. It always does. And I said, can I be honest with you? And I told her this story. I said, we use grade A milk. You get a whole milk cappuccino from us. I promise you it's not going to hurt your stomach. And then every day after that, she got a whole milk cappuccino.
Wow.
Because she...
That's
like,
fascinating. I didn't know that y'all did that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so-
they use great milk.
Okay, so what's wrong with Fairlife? I use Fairlife a lot.
Fairlife, they're just abused their cows. It's pretty bad. There was a whole documentary where like they were just beating the crap out of their cows all the time. It's like it's bad.
Just like punching them.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Well, it's just like so a mom needs a
You
calf.
stupid old cow.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Well,
you watch the documentary,
you
you'll
would
laugh less.
not laugh if you watched the documentary.
Sorry.
So
Sorry for
a heifer needs a little baby, right? So they get cows pregnant. They basically force these cows into being pregnant. They make them have a calf, and then they take the calf. They kill the calf for veal, but it's just like basically they abuse those calves. Are in like really horrible cages. They force feed the calves. It's just a bunch of crazy stuff. Like they're just really mean, and there's a bunch of drugs going on there.
It's interesting.
So what
Fairlife is
milk
bad.
should we get?
You can find
Just
like
anything grade A.
anything grade A. Promised Land is really great.
I'm curious. We got the organic milk at Whole Foods today was only.
Hey, Whole Foods does sell like it's got like an orange label on it, and it's like the most organic and like non-homogenized milk you can get.
It's
from the store.
$7.19. But their normal milk, which is what I got because I didn't really think about it, which it still said organic.
Yeah.
It was $6.19, which is expensive for milk right now.
Dude, there's
I'm
also
curious of how it's going to be.
An app called Yuka, Yuka. I use it for everything, and you can just scan stuff, and it will give you a score of how good it is for you.
Wow.
So like
I need that.
everything
ASAP.
everything that's basically yummy and tasty, that's like candy and junk food, 30 to 0. It's like 15 to 0 bad.
Nerds
Because then it will
clusters
tell
are
you,
like a 2.
oh, bro, they're like a 2. And it will tell you every every preservative that's in there and what those preservatives are linked to.
Yeah.
Which is really awesome. And so we just go in and just try to get the highest score. It's kind of like a game.
That's awesome.
Cool.
And
YUKA.
Yuka. Today's podcast is sponsored by Yuka. But it's also
what
cool.
does it stand for?
I have no idea.
You could
under
got good groceries, but you didn't. But you can if you use this app.
Exactly.
You oughta know all about this stuff.
You oughta know
what is
you
good for you
oughta
if you use this
know.
app.
So we use it, and we just try to get the highest score all the time. Something I found. This is crazy too. I was at Kroger shopping for eggs, and Eggland's Best gets 100 out of 100. By the way,
Whoa.
But they are $9 for 12.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But anyway, I was like looking in the organic section, and it was like I can't remember. It was some price, and it was they got an 85 out of 100. I was like, that's pretty good. So I was like, I'm just gonna look at the natural Kroger ones right below it. See, and I scanned it, 85 out of 100.
Interesting.
And then but it was $1.50 cheaper.
Yeah.
And then another $1.50 cheaper, and it was like the bleached white eggs for Kroger, 85.
Wow.
They all got the same score, and I was like, if these are the same eggs, but one is bleached, I'm gonna lose it. So
I'm trying to think about which
find a farm
eggs I
to
get. They're
go
like
to.
the yellow ones, and they're
Oh,
free
Happy
range.
Egg.
Yeah.
Happy egg, yeah. Happy
that
egg's
pretty
good. I've never scanned them.
Okay. Don't worry, I'll
But-
take care of it.
Yeah, scan them. It's a great app. It's free. You don't have to worry about it. What's Steven doing?
We have a
Bet he's pooping.
you can use the bathroom at your will policy, so you can just up and out of here if you gotta.
That's
take
awesome.
a TT.
He's taking a picture of us. Jacob's
I think
here.
Jake's here.
Jacob is here. That's
I also
awesome.
got a Sam ETA of 11:45, so he'll be here.
Oh, in like 30 minutes.
Great.
Myers, I'm really bummed that you have the analog clock on your Mac.
You couldn't read it?
I mean, no, I can, but it's just really
It
tiny.
is. It is small and harder.
Jacob's
to read.
here. Come here, Jacob.
How's your sleep?
Come here. Come here. Explain to the podcast what you mean by I didn't see my phone. It fell off the bed. I couldn't hear it.
We were talking about that.
So, when you live in a dorm room, you want to maximize your space, so you bunk your beds. And I am on the top bunk, and your phone is sitting under bed, and you hear it because it's by your pillow. But sometimes you move around a lot when you sleep because you're fidgety, and your phone falls off, and you don't hear the 19 phone calls from John, the 2 phone calls from Myers, the 2 FaceTimes from Steven, and the 1 phone call from Zion. And sometimes Steven has to call your roommate 15 times for you to wake up. So thank you.
Just turn your ringer on. I don't. Well, look. I sleep with my wife every night. It's awesome. And
You should get married,
my
Jacob.
phone is across the room. My phone sits across the room, and I hear it every day.
I do want to get one of those like.
I just don't. I don't.
I really
get
want to
it.
get one of those like subtle, like gradually wakes you up alarm clocks.
Oh,
you know?
a lofty.
Yeah,
Oh,
whatever
I have
that
one.
is.
I
I want to
have
get
one.
one of those
It is
because
a
I want to.
vibe.
I want to not have my phone next to my bed. I just haven't gotten around to buying.
That's what we have, and
Yeah.
it is awesome.
Yeah.
It does a wake up it does a wake up and a get up. So you wake up, and then 9 minutes later, it plays a louder alarm for
Yeah.
you to get up.
That's cool.
It's baller.
Yeah, we gotta get us some of dems.
You put your toes in there?
Welcome back, Steven.
Hey, welcome back, Steven. We were talking about the lofty alarm clock.
Ooh, my lofty alarm clock makes a really high frequency sound whenever.
Sometimes they break.
Oh, really?
Well, yours broke. Did it not?
Like sort of. It makes like a high frequency sound, like the one we were joking about earlier with Sully's like dating
Yeah,
sound,
yeah.
like a dog whistle kind of sound.
You could just sample that.
It doesn't really like. It doesn't bother me unless I like wake up at like 3 a.m. with the heebie-jeebies and I'm trying to go back to bed and I
Yeah.
just like I just can't stop thinking about how annoying it is.
Yeah.
Does that ever happen to y'all?
No.
Y'all ever wake up at like 3 a.m. like scared?
I used to.
Scared.
I guess
Not me.
Me and-
I don't
you
anymore.
never feel that way living in downtown. I was gonna say they don't feel that way because they live in like the
I didn't feel
safest
that
areas
way.
in the world.
I didn't feel that any day we lived in Atlanta.
like truly scared, like fear for safety.
Yeah.
I feared for other
No.
people's safety. Wait, we should tell them about that one time we woke up and our neighbors were fighting in the front yard.
Oh yeah, 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
One of them had a saw.
She has a handsaw and is swinging it at him.
Holy cow.
And we called the cops and they showed up and they were gone by the time they got there. But it was crazy.
That's nuts. That happened to me whenever I lived in Highland Park. In
You got
Birmingham.
you got assaulted with a handsaw?
Yep. No, my neighbors were in a screaming fight at like late at night. Or it was like 1
That's
a.m.
tough.
Yeah. I
yeah.
don't know what it is, man.
I mean, as far as living in Atlanta, I've never felt like I was in danger. And you know, West End could get rowdy, but like no one was ever mad at me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like generally speaking, if you're in your house, you're probably chilling.
Yeah.
Something would have to go really wrong
You're laxing.
if
Steven had a car explode behind his house a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I think that
What?
might have been the main thing. We don't have to get into all this detailed stuff, but this guy, like, we knew this now. We
Is he
didn't know this
okay?
when this was happening. This guy stole this car,
Oh.
and then he lit it on fire.
Oh my gosh.
Like in the alleyway behind my house, which, if you knew where my house was, it would be. This is very odd for that to happen. But I remember like waking up and it was like at 3 a.m. and every once in a while, like it literally sounded like I guess all 4 of the tires exploded and had these like really weird sounds afterwards. So there's like 4 kind of like semi-loud explosions. And then I like looked at but it was like the 3 a.m. brain. Like
Yeah.
my brain wasn't really working. And I remember like looking out my back window and like I saw like lights, but I was like, oh, that must just be like, you know, floodlights or something. I didn't think anything of it, but it was actually the flames from a fire or from the car being lit on fire.
Wow.
But the horn was like
stuck.
going off like, and I don't know. Like at first I was like, surely someone's not like freaking trapped in this car. Like,
that'd be terrifying.
so that was kind of where my paranoia went, and like they were honking on the horn to try to get us to help, but I don't want to. I don't know. I just got like freaked out or whatever.
Yeah, that's freaky.
But also, there was somebody in my. We're going to turn this into a little true crime podcast for a second. Somebody who lives in my neighborhood woke up and there was a dude at the foot of their bed with all of their stuff in their hand.
Gosh.
Yeah, just like staring at them. It was like 7 a.m.
that's terrifying.
Dude,
And
what?
and literally it was nuts. She like it was a man and a wife, and the woman was like, hey, like and he was like, he said something, I can't remember what it was, but it was something like that was like cry for help. He was like, hey, like I really don't want to be doing this right now, or something like that. He like apologized, and she was like, it's okay, like you can have our stuff, like do you want some water?
Oh, wow.
And she walked in the kitchen with him and gave him a cup of water, and like by the time that she walked in there and gave him a cup of water, the cops, like her husband obviously like stayed in there, called the cops, and the cops came, and I can't remember exactly like the details of how they actually, how she moved and they got him or stuff, but that like happened in my neighborhood.
Dang.
And so sometimes I think that's the root of my parent. I feel like I'm
There
going
you
to
go.
wake up and there's going to be someone just like sitting, but they left their garage door open,
Can't do
and
that.
and they didn't lock their garage door.
Can't do that.
So, but I don't know, breaking and entering, like breaking into a house, like picking a lock and going in is
Yeah.
like very low percentage chance that happens to you. So
Yeah.
my paranoia is wrong, but it definitely
I get it.
happens to me
I
sometimes.
get it.
You know what I mean? Anyways, there's some true crime. There's our true crime segment for the day.
That was baller.
All right. We're ready for another segment here?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Nope, that's
wait,
not
I
it.
never got to do mine.
Oh yeah, you're right. We never. Okay, back to our generic segment of the day. New York storefront. Zion, if you had a storefront
Oh, it
in
took
New
us
York,
an
where
hour
would
to
it
get
be?
back
What would it
around.
look like? And what would it be?
Where it would be? I don't know New York that well. So,
Well,
Times
learn.
Square.
Times Square. Okay.
Heck yeah.
No, not Times Square. Soho. I don't know. And whatever that is. And it would be, well, I mean, I feel like it's kind of obvious. I'm into furniture now, and there's this Japanese company called Kona, Cona. They make really beautiful furniture. So I think what I would do is it would kind of similarly to Jack thing, just be like a display, like a display room, but it would just, come in, tell me what you want me to make you. We'll have a cup of coffee. We'll drink some coffee and hang out and just like figure out what you want to make. And I would also probably try to make it my workstation.
Yeah.
So I could work there and just like be like, all right, yeah, let's make you something. It would be called Clyde, Clyde,
Mm-hmm.
and the E would be backwards.
Sick.
Because that's what I want to do.
Just to rep ourselves right now. Zion has a woodworking company, and you could do an inquiry right now if you wanted to.
Oh,
You could hit him up on Instagram.
You can hit me on Instagram at Clyde Builds.
And your phone number is?
Nope.
Nice try.
My email is clydethecarpenter@gmail.com. So if you want anything built, just
You actually have an email set up.
Yeah, I got an
That's
email.
awesome.
I have an Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna do that. I'm planning to build an actual like shop, so where I can do that like on a monthly basis whenever we're not doing. Because the dream is to do music and build furniture. It's not an either or.
Yeah. And I also have a woodworking business too, and it's Shane, and the E is backwards.
I thought it was gonna be Wade.
No, Wade is my brother's.
Okay,
middle
that's
name.
what I thought.
No, Shane. I was named after my father, Shane.
Nice. Shane.
So, but anyways, I
Shane
thought it
and
was kind of
Clyde.
cool. I didn't really know what I was
Shane and
gonna.
Clyde, the E will be backwards on Shane too.
Yeah, I didn't really know what I was gonna ever name mine. I have made a few pieces for a few people.
Yeah.
And but I think. Oh, and I didn't tell you this yet. I got a wood burning tool, so I can.
My brother-in-law was supposed to give me one of those. It was my Christmas gift, but
Oh, wow.
I have yet to receive
Mine
it.
was also a Christmas gift from
way.
a guy named Sam, who's I've been a small group with him. Love that guy. There's absolutely no way Sam listens to my podcast, sadly.
There's no way Lane listens to
Yeah.
that.
But anyways, otherwise I would shout him out. But no, anyways, Shane and Clyde are definitely
So
winks
cool.
at each other.
Oh, it's so
with
cool.
the E, the backwards E.
Yeah.
So yeah, hit Zion up first because he's better than me. But then if you want to,
Well, we'll see.
if you want
We'll have a
a
wood
Kind
product
of
too,
depends on your locale. If you're in Birmingham, if you're
Yeah.
in Atlanta.
We'll have a wood off.
yeah. A wood off.
a wood off.
Yeah, let us
We'll
know.
have your wood off.
I'll build you. Do not.
Okay, so I'm actually curious. The coffee. This is a very random question, but y'all both said it would include
Hit me.
coffee. What kind of like countertop do you
exactly.
prefer making coffee on? Like, what kind of material is the countertop?
Now it's probably wood, but I also enjoy a stone, something
Okay.
that's hard. People make countertops that are this like bouncy metal,
Yeah.
and it's so annoying to make
Yeah.
coffee on that because you can't pop the bubbles that come up when you're steaming your milk. So you have to find like a hard surface to pop the bubbles on.
Mm-hmm.
Stone wood is my preferred medium just
Mhm.
because it's awesome with a nice, it's called a CV coat.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like for restaurants and stuff, but it still looks and feels natural.
Mm-hmm.
I really love a natural finish. I hate any poly stuff; is super annoying to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so probably wood. I would use wood, and I'd be using an Onza.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want an
Concrete
Onza.
one?
Yeah, the concrete one. I really don't ever. I don't think I ever want to pay $5 or $10,000 for like a mini.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. An Onza does the job, and it's beautiful. It's very cool. When Lillaby is
It's an
like,
espresso machine,
yeah,
for context.
yeah. Sorry, it's an espresso machine. Onza Coffee, if you're interested. Hey, please sponsor us.
No way.
We once Libby and I like move on to something else, and like I can do Clyde full time, and she can do something else if she wants to.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get ourselves an Onza once we're out of coffee for forever. That's our
Yeah.
like, gift to ourselves.
Huge.
Mm.
Cool.
Jack, what's yours?
I think I like the balance that you're going with the concrete Onza with natural wood. I feel like a concrete countertop is too like, the like brutalist aesthetic where
Yeah.
your house looks like a jail cell.
I can't.
So
it's so
vibey.
annoying.
It's so vibey.
No, dude, it's like a vibe.
I just feel like
remember-
it invites house music.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm gonna break my teeth on everything.
It invites like a sense of like imprisonment.
So good. How did you just do that?
yeah, but like
Keep talking.
I remember getting into like loving.
So there's
Yeah,
like
but like
echoing.
anyway. I I remember thinking that was like really cool, and then like I saw these classic homes with like antique history and character.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh wait, this is cool. And
Yeah.
the brutalist thing,
Mhm.
if you're into that, that's cool, but it felt a little uninspired. But
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, there's nothing I like more than just like a wood floor that's been stepped on a
beat up.
million times.
it's almost like soft and smooth just
Yes.
because of how it's
Woo.
been lived on.
Yes, dude.
But-
Wood is the superior. It is the superior material.
I think working in commercial coffee has been frustrating with working on a wood countertop because I think it hasn't aged well. Because, okay, this is my one gripe with coffee.
Take us there.
I run an incredibly clean bar.
Yes.
And that is one thing that
It's the only way.
is very important
You have
to my
to.
workflow.
You have to.
Some people who work at
Bro.
my shop run a absolute grounds everywhere,
Pigsty.
and
Fire me up, man.
the counter is wet constantly. Like, I don't want to be too picky about it, but like if someone has me hop on bar and they're the barista that day to make some drinks, first thing I'll do, I don't care if there's
Clean.
15 drinks, I will dry off the bar.
Yep.
I will dust all of the grounds off, and I will get the like wet and goopy coffee grounds off the tamp pad, and
That's
then
awful.
I will start making coffee.
Yeah.
Can I just say, if all four of us ran a coffee shop, how freaking clean that
Dude.
space would be?
Mm-hmm.
That's
It'd be a
all.
vibe. I've always wanted to start a coffee shop.
I don't think any of us want to start a coffee shop at this point, but
Yeah.
I think that is a common theme between all of us in our coffee professionalism is we kept a clean.
We can live vicariously
Workspace.
through the people in our lives that have started a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Like
for
that.
And learn
Elliot-
from their mistakes and
Yeah.
how much they hate it.
Can I
Oh,
can
yeah.
I interject
Yeah.
and say Jake just plopped himself on the rock and is reading and has his book, and it's very wholesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And he's gonna have a little quiet time.
That's literally his Bible.
That's his Bible.
The cutest thing I've ever seen in my
I
life.
love that.
That's awesome.
So sweet.
Wow.
He saw a
Shout out
opportunity
Sarah.
and took it.
Shout out Sarah. You're listening. He's having a cute little quiet time by himself right now.
What the
I don't know if you know
who is
this.
Sarah?
He went on a first date on Thursday
Oh.
with a girl named Sarah.
And we'll see if that's even relevant in a
little
month
half
when this
one,
comes
little
out.
half one.
That'd be super awkward. Sarah's gonna be like, like in May.
Okay.
No, I think that's super fair. I think that, man, I think it matters a lot.
I love how many times you just said I think.
I
I was trying to figure out whether or not I wanted to go here or not,
Yeah,
but
I think you think it matters a lot, and I agree.
like your countertop matters more than you would ever freaking imagine.
Yeah.
Because like mine, at my house, like I literally just got like 2-inch thick pieces of birch plywood.
So it's perfect.
And it just like I put one coat of food safe like
Yep.
matte poly on it.
Yep.
And it genuinely like it's gotten to the point where I've put in like super hot like pots down on it, and there's like it's got wear on it, and
has
stuff.
life.
And it looks like it's like a little. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it is the showing of the fact that I've lived in a house for
It's
almost 2
so
years now.
good.
And it is I think it's lovely. And my other countertop that's like, it's the typical trendy like white marble
Yeah.
thing that's like the stock counter in Lowe's like
Yeah.
sample like living room or whatever.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to
It's too
get rid of
clean.
it and
My
put
favorite
more.
One of my favorite houses I've ever been in was this like 100-year-old house that one of my friend's parents owned in Greenville, South Carolina, and they had these huge.
Which friend?
Seth Corley.
Oh, okay.
Why did you ask it like
Corey.
that?
I thought it was his ex-girlfriend's.
It's my ex-girlfriend's
Okay.
aunt and uncle's house.
Okay.
But I was also friends with her cousin, so I usually avoid
That
talking
part.
about her by referring to her cousin.
Cool house.
That's a good move.
Anyway, they had a really cool house, and they had these really big, thick butcher block
Yeah.
countertops. And
Those
they
are
would- you
very
could
cheap,
just-
by the way.
You could just chop your vegetables and stuff
Yeah.
on the countertop, and I thought that was the coolest thing. Their kitchen was very oriented towards cooking and hosting.
So
They
good.
had one
As
of
it
those
should
like
be.
super wide ovens, so
Yeah.
you could fit like 3 trays
Come
in
on.
there, 8 or 6 eyes on top.
That's so good.
It was really, really, really cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lily and I are think like planning our house whenever we want to, whenever we can actually build it, and it's like planning your house. I just feel like so many people just built ugly, lame houses.
Yeah.
And we've looked at houses too, and I'm like, it's like newly renovated house, and I'm like, this is so. You just put hundreds of thousands of dollars to make this look like every apartment ad I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's so bad.
Yeah.
But like our house in Atlanta when we lived there, just like had awesome wood floors, had an arch, and it had 100-year-old windows. They were all warbly.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that don't come in here. Put laminate down, like it's
gray laminate.
Yeah, just
down.
like agreeable gray.
This
It's so bad.
we were at a different life stage, but it really takes me back to the conversation we had when we were potentially going to live with Elijah, and he was
Yes.
like, "I can't do agreeable gray."
And I was like, shut up, shut up, just do it. And now I'm like, he was right.
He
You're
was
so much wiser than us.
100%. His house in Kentucky is beautiful.
I mean, I wasn't in the place where I could, look at other options, but when you can build whatever you want,
Yeah.
when the earth is just nothing and you can make whatever you want, and then you look at what we chose to make as people, and then it's just like
Boring.
agreeable gray plastic floor that looks like wood, even though wood has never been gray.
Ugh. Hate. Dude, people, I'm going to say it. Because I don't think anybody who ever shops at Rustic Trades will listen to this.
Oh gosh. Okay.
People will buy. I remember I built this cherry table. It was beautiful. And I was so proud of it. It was like one of the first builds I got to do. And it's just like this beautiful tone. And you wipe it down with mineral spirits, and it gives you kind of a show what it will look like when it's finished. And it was so beautiful. And then they painted it white. That's not the win. That's Jack. And
I'm exhaling.
yeah,
That's tough.
Well, but people, and I just built this 10-foot long live edge oak table, and they stained it like caramel brown.
Man.
But it's like white. It's like white oak is this beautiful. These are all 10-foot long boards. You can see the grain from front to back, like, and then they just made it brown.
Yeah, especially
And I was-
like
which
if you're-
wood is brown, but white oak is beautiful. So I just don't
and
get it.
When you're spending that much for wood, you're also buying the color too.
Yeah, why would you?
Like, why are
white
you
oak
messing
is like
with that?
$15 per board foot.
Yeah.
If you're gonna paint a table white, just get pine.
Just yeah, like which was what people will do. Like we sold a walnut table to this guy, and he had a walnut top and got a poplar base. Poplar's very cheap soft wood, and they're gonna stain it walnut, which you can tell. When I didn't work in wood, I was like, you can't tell. And now that I'm in wood, I'm like, you can tell.
Yeah.
But that's what they do when they don't have enough money, is they'll just like get a different base and stain it.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, if you're gonna do that, that's fine. Like someone just bought a $15,000 table that's 15 feet long, made of red oak, painted in black.
It's so tough.
What are you doing?
Come on, man. Yeah. That's what I love. Like that's why I'm a huge Donald Judd fan, and if you don't know who that is, he's just like a designer.
He's a brutalist
He uses
designer.
screws.
He's not a brutalist designer at all. But
Well, he uses screws, so
he definitely uses screws. He
I'm just
definitely uses
kidding.
joints too. But he's like probably one of the most like
His stuff is-
famous
his stuff is
artists
cool.
in American history. But anyways, he passed away like in the early 2000s, but he has
R.I.P.
these ranch homes in West Texas, and I love what he chooses to leave, and then what he chooses to like put into a home. Like at it, especially like the older in his life, he started buying houses further and further into like the West Texas desert, and like in his last ranch house, he like left the original door, and it like wasn't sealed all the way.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. What are y'all laughing at?
What's the next segment? Oh, yeah. Say Myers.
Well, I wouldn't, do we have another segment?
No, that was it. I was just gonna say that. I was gonna keep talking about that, but it doesn't matter.
I don't know how long we've been going. I just feel like we should be a little bit conscious of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zion, thank you for coming on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there another segment?
Before we finish, I was going
Thanks for
to
having me.
do a little plug yourself time, and you have a little project coming out here soon.
We do.
Mm-hmm. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, first of all, what a joy it's been to be here with you guys. It
Same.
is-
The feeling is 100% mutual.
I definitely want to do
Very
this again.
reciprocated.
I love y'all. These are my best friends, you guys. It's so fun. Yeah, we have some stuff coming out. We've been working really hard on an album called OK Cowboy that comes out in June. Is that right? Or is it July? It's like in the summer. It's gonna come out in the summer. I have yet to put it into distro.
So this is
everything
like
is
legitimately the first time you've ever expressed the album like.
I said it, a date. I said it at a concert one time and regretted it instantly.
Oh, okay.
But
was it July then? Because
no,
it
was
wasn't.
January of this year. It's actually everything is done. All the everything is cleared and we're ready to go. So it will be in the summer.
Sweet.
We have single coming out. It'll probably be out already by the time
This is going to
comes
come out like early May, I think.
So it comes out next week. So
Oh yeah, it'll definitely be out. Yeah.
it's called Virginia. It's a great song. And then we have an EP after that, and then we'll have another single, and then the album comes out. It's called OK Cowboy. Worked with these really talented gentlemen around me, and we made something that really means a lot to us. Wrote it in my I guess I'm still in my early 20s. I'm 24, but 20, 21, 22. I wrote this, and it's all an album of personal growth and how God can just really speak to you through anything. So there's a lot of country influence, like Western influence. There's a lot of rock.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of
Marty Robbins
newness.
find his way through.
Yeah, Marty Robbins is my man. But yeah, we just it's a new thing. We're really stoked on it. We worked really, really hard and have a lot of talented people. Chris Miller was on this. He did all the mixing.
Oh, cool. I didn't know.
Yeah, Stephen Potasic mastered all these.
Wow. Shout out.
Will Carlisle produced everything. And we did it at 1971 Sounds in ATL. Todd Lyons. Jack,
Shout out.
John, Jacob, Will. They all played on it. Chris Todd documented everything. So we kind of have a bunch of really awesome visuals coming with that. So thanks for everybody who listens. And if you could just go subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, on Instagram. It really helps us.
There'll be links. If you're on YouTube, there'll be links in the description.
Yeah, I'll give them the links to post.
Yeah.
It'll be perfect.
And we'll put it on our Instagram.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So we're stoked to have music out, and then just on to the next one. We'll make another album. We'll keep writing music, which is gonna be a lot of fun, I think.
Do some live shows.
Yeah, I got a new song that I started writing called "Sun Don't Shine," which I'm really stoked for.
Come on.
Awesome. And then I'm just gonna go through my voice memos and look through all the stuff that I never finished and try to go for it. I think we're also gonna do something called songs I wrote for other people. So
cool.
One of Steven's songs will be on there. Wrote their first dance song.
Can we name it?
I think it's called
Sunday morning or Saturday. We'll go on a walk in the park on a Thursday or something like that.
Yeah. Oh no, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. We're singing. We're dancing, and we're getting married.
That's right.
And we just got married.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, there's a song called October that I did a while back, and so I'm gonna do that, and then I think we're gonna do. I might do some covers of some of my favorite Western songs.
Let's go.
I just found a song called A Good Woman's Love. Oh my gosh, I was literally cutting dados on this bass and listening, and it's literally just it's so good.
Oh.
But yeah, listen to some Western music, frick country music. Jesus is the best. I love him so much. And you should too.
What is the song on your last song? I didn't know that it was
Bend in the River?
Yes.
That's a Marty Robbins cover.
Yeah.
You thought I wrote that?
Well, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a great song. It came on with Marty Robbins was singing it, and Gracie and I were like, what?
Oh yeah.
In the car
that's so
2 weeks
awesome,
ago.
dude.
I love that that's how you found out that it was a cover and that no one told you.
Oh, dude.
And you just got to have that moment of surprise.
This is I thought Chris Stapleton wrote Tennessee Whiskey for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then I found out he didn't, and I was like,
He
what?
didn't?
I was like, his is the best, so doesn't matter.
Hey guys, well, we love Zion. We love Jack Sullivan.
Jack,
we love you.
We love you guys.
It was an honor to
So if
host
you've made it this
alongside
far
you.
with us this whole hour and 33 minutes and 13 seconds,
It flew by.
I'll just say this is a good time. We love you, and word of mouth is continuing to change the world. One podcast
One
at a time.
podcast at a time. Word of mouth.
Any last words?
Tell your friends.
Any last words?
I love you.
Wom.
Oh yeah. See you later. It's time!
All right. Today's second secret segment. First secret segment is... Let's talk about love life, Jack. What's going on here? I'm kidding.
I was gonna say I feel like we've already done this.
This is one thing that I've been just dying to talk about right
this
here.
is
Okay.
sick. Oh, I'm so
It's time.
good. I'm so glad it's not over.
I was totally got, and I'm
All right.
producing.
So essentially,
You just have a laptop. What have you been looking up?
A lot
I
of
haven't been
episodes
looking
we've
up
actually
anything.
needed a laptop for someone to look stuff up, and this one we just haven't. So Jack just looks like he looks.
I'm just looking at
That's
Myers'
so good.
pinned tabs. He has a Wall Street Journal
Awesome.
tab that just says minimum
Okay.
wage.
Nice.
Oh, they're like all from school.
That's awesome.
I haven't changed any of them.
Hit us
since
with
then.
that secret section.
so this segment is going to be called Picking Zion's Favorites. Okay.
Picking Zion's favorites.
Great.
Zion's favorite stage of life. We all have to make, essentially, we have to give Zion reasons why the time of life, whenever he was friends with us, is why we should be his favorite time of life.
We're still friends.
But essentially, why Zion's time with me as a roommate, and then time with you as a roommate, and then you can also ad-lib
I
this
was-
as if you
I
were
was
a roommate,
around enough
and then
that
we
I
can
was
all
basically a roommate.
sell
I was-
ourselves.
Yeah.
So is this like a competition of who's Zion's better friend?
Yes, essentially is that. No, I'm kidding. What I'm trying to say right now is this, and that is, Zion has favorite things, and we have
Oh,
the final band member.
the final band member just
Oh,
arrived.
he's here.
Wow.
He grew that mustache so fast. Hey, Sam.
Wow.
You handsome boy.
You're so hot.
Zion has favorites, and we're going to guess what they are. I'm going to give prompts, and then we are going to cumulatively, as us three, get to try and guess what they are, and then
Okay.
he's going to either confirm or deny, and then give just a
Commentary.
little bit of commentary on it.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's do it.
All right. Zion's death row coffee order.
Oh, this
He
is
has
good.
one coffee order left for the rest of his life. Where is he getting it from? What is it?
Cap Daddy
From
from
where?
I just don't know. I guess
don't-
Libby would make it for him.
That would be so sad. That would be great. That would make me really sad.
Yeah. I'm definitely going Cap Daddy as well.
I was gonna say, what was the
The Cap Daddy is a cappuccino with a little bit of honey.
What was the Cap Daddy? But you put the black tea on top. What was that called?
The American Killer.
American
Yeah.
Killer.
That was gonna be my guess.
That joint ripped. There was a short time where I also made this thing when I worked at Tuesday Coffee, and we had this rose syrup and these little leaf petals,
I
these
think I
little
tried
rose
that too.
petals.
That was
Yeah.
really
And
tasty.
I would just make a Cap Daddy and put rose petals on top, and it was insane.
Yeah.
Confirm Cap Daddy for sure.
Mm.
Where from?
Does it matter? Because I feel
mean-
like the Cap Daddy had its time where like every barista at like one coffee shop in Birmingham
Yeah.
knew.
If it
I
was
still
anything,
make them
I
for
would.
Shane. Shane orders them all
Oh
the time.
my gosh, I love that. I
My
would
dad will
say-
go into coffee shops, Goodwill, knowing they have no idea what a Cap Daddy is, and they'll say, "Oh, I want a Cap Daddy."
That's so awesome.
They're like, "What?"
It would probably be when I would
apologize on
have
his
one
behalf.
if I could like time travel. I'd have one from when we first invented it because that was like when they tasted the best.
Oh yeah.
And it would be at unnamed coffee shop with all the best staff.
Mhm.
I'd say.
I think
Give
in
me Cap
that
Daddy.
coffee shop's heyday.
I think I would
Yep.
get one from Shardy. I think he was the best.
Yep. Or honestly, Austin from Sidetrack.
Oh yeah.
His cappuccino.
Yeah, be a Cap Daddy from Sidetrack. That's for sure
Yeah,
your death row.
That would be it. Sorry,
Yeah, he's wearing the socks right now.
I am. Oh yeah, shout out Sidetrack.
Oh, damn.
I almost
He
wore
has
those socks
he
today.
has the most perfect texture and temperature I've ever had in a cappuccino.
Yeah.
Also, honestly, Grace Raps made me one a couple weeks ago,
It's good.
and it was fantastic. Shout out. Next.
Shout out Tuesday. All right. Next one.
Windy.
Okay, this one might be super obvious. Okay, Death Row album.
Dang.
Last album Zion would ever listen to.
That's good.
I feel like he's kind of got like a new vibe.
I'm like curious if it would
Monthly?
be like Gunfighter Ballads, but I don't know if that would be because that's such recency bias.
In my heart of hearts, I would say Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs. But would it be like that was kind of like mature Zion kind of becoming the artist that he is now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it would almost be a Judah record because that was like origin story.
That's true.
Mm.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know which Judah record though because I didn't listen to a ton of Judah.
Full Cop and Roll if it was a Judah record, but I'm not saying it is. Full Cop and Roll was my favorite. Next. But, no, but that's not my thing. What's your guess?
No, I think my final guess. I'm like trying. I think like what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to like pull one out of nowhere. I mean, I think that like you really like R&B and like hip hop and stuff too. So that's what's coming to my mind. I don't know if that would be your last album you'd ever listen to though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go.
It definitely wouldn't be a Judah record.
I'm just
going
gonna
to
go first instinct so we can go ahead and hear the answer. I'm gonna go Marty Robbins, Gunfire
I
Ballads.
would say it wouldn't be an album. You would just listen to one song 10 times in a row, and it would be Firework by Katy Perry.
You were close. I honestly thought you were going to say it would be Full Grown.
Field Medic, Full Grown.
If it was a single
Good song.
song, it would be Full Grown because I'm dying. But if it was an album, yeah, Gunfire Ballads is a good one. There's also one called Drifter by him that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also more Gunfire Ballads and trail songs, and it's really good.
And then there's also songs for the trail.
Yeah, which is awesome. And then we have an album. The EP is called Letters from the Trail, which is awesome. But yeah, Marty Robbins is great, and he has a lot of good stuff. It would either be Marty Robbins or, for recency, there was this guy named Ethan Tash, and I listened to his record.
Yeah, it's
He's
really
getting
good.
Got Him. It's called Got Him, and I listened to that record every day for like 2 months straight, and I would just put it on repeat because it was phenomenal. So probably Got Him by Ethan Tash. He's awesome.
Wow. That's the album you showed me in your truck where the dude's like he's like standing in a field.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, shout out that album. All right. Last one here. Is there any topics that y'all want to do?
Nothing's pressing. Nothing's
nothing's coming
jumping
to
out to me.
mind. You don't have anything?
I'm trying to think. I have several floating around in the dome. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to do.
Stoked.
I think movie is obvious. Sing Street.
I was gonna say Scott Pilgrim.
Also,
Death Row.
banger.
Yeah, honestly. Zion really pulled me out of the trenches one time when he showed me Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I'm not gonna lie.
The moral
great
sneaks
movie.
up on you.
Yeah.
Oh, how about this Death Row social setting? What?
My wife's FaceTiming me.
No way.
Wow.
Hey,
baby.
Am I on the podcast?
You're on the
one.
word of mouth right now.
You're on the podcast. Who's coming in? Who is that? Somebody else coming in?
Say it again.
Oh, what up, girl? These are all my best friends. We're on a podcast right now.
On the podcast.
Estrogen.
Wow, we have some estrogen on the pod.
Wisdom.
Okay, hey, wait. They're asking me a
Wom
question. What was the
in.
last question?
Death Row social setting. Like if your last, like
I thought
the
it was
next.
going to be a movie. I thought you said movie.
No, I said Sing Street. Obviously, would be the
Okay.
answer. Yeah.
Death Row social setting?
Yeah, so like the next morning, you're gonna get to have
The
like a
next morning,
slow
I'm gonna get
morning with Lillaby
morning
having
with
coffee,
a
and then you're
social
gonna
setting.
like pass away in the afternoon slowly and peacefully.
Okay, it's like what is the last social setting
But the
I would
night
ever want to be
before,
in? They're
though.
trying to do the favorite. The night before.
What are you going to do? Who are you gonna be with? Where are you gonna be?
Oh, like how would I want to spend my last day on Earth?
That feels
Your
heavy.
Last night.
How would I want to spend my last night on Earth?
But it
babe?
is a social setting,
You know.
with other people.
Yeah, like
Last night was bomb.
Last night was bomb. It'd be last night.
I said you're gonna be with people because I knew it was just gonna be a Lillaby thing because we're all married and we get it.
Yeah, we get it. If it was just with people, who would? I mean, honestly, it would be all my best friends and Lillaby, who is my bestest friend, and like my family, and we would all just hang out and
Sit around a table.
just
Well,
talk.
what's on the plate or what's on the table?
Oh, what are we eating?
Yeah. So it's usually Death Row me.
Swimming, you'd want to be doing a physical activity.
That's fair.
Oh
Some
yeah.
pickleball.
Everyone would be so impressed with you. You'd be like, watch this, and be sprinting across.
I just want to impress everybody one last time.
one last.
I just want
one
to set
last
up,
corkscrew flip up the
impress.
diving board.
Yeah. I love doing those.
You are very good at this.
I would just want to impress everybody one last time, and
Death Row impression.
Death Row impression. Oh, dude, actually, I want to do my Louis Armstrong impression because I heard you guys do it yesterday. I would want to eat Japanese food. Hibachi, please.
What would
Green bean tempura.
Oh, green bean tempura from Bamboo on Second. Yes,
Yeah,
me and
eat a
Willoughby.
bunch of that when I die.
We made like this udon noodle. It was basically like Japanese Alfredo. It was so good.
Ooh.
She made it and she crushed it with this like delicious cabbage salad. And then yes, what was it again? My death row impression.
Mm-hmm.
This is my Louis Armstrong because I actually love doing a little bit of impressions every now and then.
All right.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see say, how do you do? And
Hey, guys.
And I think to myself,
Love you, listeners.
what a wonderful world. This is a great song.
Any last words? Miles?
Any last words,
Bye,
baby?
bye. Milk?
Wonderful world.
Wama, wama, wama. That's it, guys.
I'm glad I looked so much. I love you. I also, I didn't